Anthony Bourdain passing away, committing suicide. That was like such a shocker.
I know, man.
Such a bummer.
How crazy is mental health when a guy, like, if you could talk to anyone, especially if you're older, who has the perfect job, they say Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
The guy who travels, gets to experience all
And he
the
was so
cultures
loved
of the
by
world.
everybody.
Everyone
Nobody
loved him.
nobody ever once said, I don't like Anthony Bourdain.
I know.
If you said that, you'd be like, what? Like, that's almost like saying I don't like kids.
And it seemed like he had everything. He had money, fame, got to travel, nice dude.
He survived a lot too.
Smart
Drugs,
Well, he
dude,
said
everything.
he said something interesting. I guess first of all, I think he had said something about him thinking about suicide. He had always thought about it, but he said something really interesting to me that I heard. He said, "I never expected to live past 30. I've always felt like I stole a really nice car, and I've always been looking in the rearview mirror to get pulled over for it."
That makes sense.
So it's,
a lot
it's
of
like,
people feel that way.
Yeah,
they don't kill themselves.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
Well, no, but he seems to have always flirted with that idea.
Well, he's a drug addict, alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
And
He
then,
was, yeah.
Yeah, and he had all that background. Then also, too, with a guy who suffers from depression or whatever, he was having issues with his girlfriend, there's rumors.
You hear about those rumors?
Well,
Yes.
I guess she was photographed 4 days before in Cannes with a reporter who's kind of a stud.
Yeah, journalist guy.
Asia Argento.
Yeah, so that I think when you do have those kind of conditions, and then maybe, who knows, I don't want to spread rumors, but then, something happens with his girl who he loved and sees that, puts you in a downward spiral. It's a bummer because he was in Germany or France shooting, parts unknown, and then they said he's supposed to go to dinner with his good friend, didn't show up.
Famous chef is buddy. I think again, this is a mystery. Like, I think suicide is probably a mystery to the people that do it sometimes. I don't know if that we're aware of our own motivations, especially when it comes to something like this.
I think what's fucked up, what bothers me most about this and the Kate Spade, why I get so angry at them, is they had kids.
Yeah.
That's so
An 11-year-old.
fucked up. You want to talk about being a narcissist. Is there going to be a worse thing to do to a kid?
I would have to
It's
agree.
so fucked up. And they think by leaving this earth, they're taking the burden away from the family members and the kids. You're making it so worse.
Well, the kid's 11, so,
it's so fucked up.
I have a daughter that age, and it's like, it would be impossible not to think my father doesn't love me. But I will also say
the most selfish
that
thing in the
level of despair,
what I'm thinking too.
is something I've never experienced.
No.
So
He said he stayed alive for his daughter too.
I'm sure. So
he must have been going through some hell inside.
and so I
hope it's
since I've
not
never
just a
been there.
breakup of a girl or girl cheating on him.
Whatever the
that.
case, to take your own life is such an extreme act that I would imagine that you have no other choice. It's literally this rational choice of saying, I can't do this anymore, and the only way out, there's a door there, and the only thing that's going to, like, maybe it's like being on fire all the time. I don't know. I never
Isn't
been
it crazy? Because you think he has the perfect life with his job, money, fame.
Well, it goes to, I think this is also where a lot of spirituality comes from. I think that it's not a mistake that a lot of Tibetan monks, a lot of shamans, a lot of even priests, if you look at it, a lot of them have gone through a crisis. A lot of them went through some form of a breakdown, sometimes when they were in their teens, in their 20s, but many of them went through a serious breakdown where they had a choice between, and how many people do you see who have everything? I've met many who have everything, including artistic prowess and everything else, and they're a mess.
Here's the thing, though. I think that's the exception. I think we got to be careful that things aren't this dark and gloomy. I know a ton of people who do have it all, and they're happy as fuck.
Sure.
So be careful.
So then the question
because everyone
is-
goes, and listen, any actor, athlete, celebrity, everyone has their issues, but we have to be real careful going, everyone's struggling their own way. Yeah, but I know some people are killing it, and they couldn't be more happy.
Well, that
and
also-
also they live in huge houses, drive fast cars, and fuck every hot girl I know, and they're happy as fuck.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, I know people who are happy.
But happy is also,
We gotta be careful here.
You have to define what happy is. Sometimes they're happy. Maybe they're happy now. Maybe in 10 years they won't be.
Oh, but that's life, Bryan.
Yeah.
We got to be careful.
What I'm saying is that maybe also there's another thought, which is that there are also serotonin levels, and some people have serotonin levels at a 4, and people like me, I'm lucky enough to have a serotonin level at 8. So no matter what happens, and they've done so many studies like Jonathan Haidt, guys who that like when you win a lottery, people who win the lottery, like money that they don't have to work again, and they compared them to people who they go back to their set point. So you get really happy, then they go back to what they were happy. Certain happiness or levels of mood are contingent upon a physical phenomenon within the brain, like your serotonin levels.
Lottery's a bad example because those people aren't working. They didn't accomplish
No,
anything.
I didn't finish it though, because they compared people who became paraplegics, lost the use of their legs, devastating accident, and people who won the lottery. And after 6 months, both went back to the sort of the set point that they were at.
Yeah.
So after the initial thing, you kind of reset, you regather yourself, and you're back to where you were.
To who you were.
Yeah, and so a lot of that's that too. Who the fuck knows, man? Maybe he did heroin. Maybe he was doing heroin when he was younger because he was so unhappy then. You know, maybe a lot of people have substance abuse, and there's a lot of science to this, or who drink too much, who take drugs, because they don't feel they feel terrible when they're sober. And that's a chemical thing. And they're trying to self-medicate. So I don't know, man. I just haven't been there. And I agree. And you're right. There are a lot of people who they get their goals, and they are happy having what they have. You're right.
Yeah, I know some people.
Right.
I think we gotta be careful. Everything's dark, and I'm happy as fuck. Listen,
Well, you know,
these things can go wrong, and
Sure.
And you're talking about being human. You're talking about having a bad day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's depression. Okay, you'll get out of it, get back on track. I don't suffer from mental, problems. But we gotta be real careful. Listen, LeBron James lost Game 4. He got blown out. Trust me, with the $1 billion deal and what he's doing with his life in the private jets, he's just fine.
Well, how about this? So my mother and my sister love to be dramatic, and I love them, but they love me and they worry. So this is what they do to me. They go, I think you're very stressed. I think that you should look into that. And I'm like, then they go, and I think that you really need a break. And I go, okay, hold on, listen up. I'm telling you right now, I'm not that stressed. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I agree with him. I think you're stressed.
But I love my life. I love my life.
Yeah, no, I agree with your mom.
It's a good stress.
Sister.
No, it's a good stress.
Yeah.
There's no depression. No, it's not true.
I don't think you're depressed.
And I'm also not that stressed.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I have a lot on my plate, but it's
you
not
got a lot
stress. I
riding
like
on
it.
Yeah.
I have everything I want.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I do. But they want to look into it and be like, your psoriasis is this. Maybe there's some of that.
I'm sure there's something.
The other side of it is maybe there's something going on with.
What's interesting too, with the thing what is a bummer, obviously them killing themselves when they're kids, that's a whole nother issue. But another thing that's a bummer is when celebrities kill themselves. They've done this study where, and it's out right now. I think Whitney Cummings tweeted this out. When celebrities kill themselves, suicide goes up.
Yeah.
With everything, because young kids, especially in the younger demographics, they see these celebrities going, well, that actually is an option now. Yeah. And if the celebrity's doing that, and then you see when Robin Williams did it, 30% in the Northern California area rose in suicide,
really?
by 30%.
Well, he hung himself the way Kate Spade did with his bathroom.
Yep. And they're saying what's not good is the way the media gives the details. They should do no details on the way they kill him. Like with Avicii, how he broke a glass bottle and slit all this shit and whatever.
I didn't know that.
They don't want to. They're saying the media would do so much better with avoiding an uprise in suicide rates if they didn't release all the details. Was
Avicii a suicide? I didn't know.
Yes, suicide.
I didn't know.
We don't need to know how these guys do it. Are we curious? Of course. But as far as with society and the younger demographics, we shouldn't be releasing.
It used to be like that, It used to be that they.
Are you talking about
tell you
respect?
That. Yeah, and when you die on the battlefield, they don't give you. They don't. That's why they don't post pictures.
Oh gosh.
And they don't tell you the details because it's very, very. Sometimes it's horrible.
With
suicide, it's personal too. They're not affecting. They're not hurting anyone else. It's,
I think that's a good. I agree with discretion. I agree with. I don't need to know all the details, and I certainly didn't need to see Kate Spade's. I didn't see it, but I know that her note was made fairly public to her daughter and stuff like that. I don't know if you need that either. That's her private business, man.
When there's kids involved, that makes me more upset at them for doing it.
Sure.